Top of the morning, everybody. It's your boy, Zaire. This is Battlethon News, morning news. Keeping y'all in tune with everything that's going on around the world and locally. Um, so, if you guys are in the tri state area, probably haven't heard of this, but this is it's not really shocking, but it happens. I mean, but some people might look at it and be like, oh my God, so he's a cop, but a New Jersey cop, um, police officer rather, arrested after fully operating a meth lab. This operational meth lab was found in his basement. In addition to the meth lab, the officer had a number of guns and explosives. Authorities discovered the meth lab after receiving a call about a domestic disturbance at the home of 19-year-old police veteran Christopher Walls. He was subsequently arrested and faces several charges related to manufacturing and operating a methamphetamine production facility. He also faces charges related to endangering the welfare of a child. Quote, the police chief, the acting chief, Frank Rizzuto, had this to say, quote, it is disappointing beyond measure that one of our officers could have risked the safety of his family and neighbors by engaging in such dangerous conduct. A very serious risk to public safety has been averted. It is particularly distressing that this hazard was caused by a sworn law enforcement officer. Now, this is my thing, right? When it comes to police, if you notice what the police chief said, he says that notice what the police chief said. The police chief says it is disappointing beyond measure that one of our officers could have risked the safety of his family and neighbors. Let me be honest with you. There's not too much that this police chief is going to say. Then it's not too much that these people are going to say against this man. You know why? Because 9 times out of 10, these police officers in that precinct, the police officers that were working around him, the police officers that were invited into his home, know what's going on. You understand what I'm saying? When these people have a code of conduct, when they have the blue lives matter, the police lives matter. Okay, cool. All lives matter, right? Stop all hate. Black, Asian, white, stop it all, right? When they have their code of conduct, right? There is no way this cop stumbled upon something that nobody else knew about. There's no way that this cop said, "Oh, you know what? I was doing this before I was a cop. Let me continue to do this while I'm a cop." No. That man's eyes was open to something. And there's other people that knew about it. It just so happened that he got caught. How he got caught, based upon what the story is telling us, this man obviously doesn't know how to control his domestic disputes with his wife, his spouse, his significant other, because there's no reason for them to have any calls saying that there's a domestic dispute if that man is not doing anything in the home with his wife. His kids are in there. The dumb thing is that you would operate this in the house with your family. Me personally, if it was me, not saying that I believe in committing crimes, but if it was me, if I had that type of money as an officer, if I had the power to go to the bank and get a loan, what's stopping me from going to get a loan? Or if what's stopping me from taking some money and just getting a side crib? Not even a whole house, but just a side apartment. What's stopping you from doing that? I'm gonna spend a few $1,000s on on a crib apartment. I got the whole apartment. I could run whatever I want to run in this apartment, in the basement, wherever you want to do it at. Mostly in the basement. You want to go below ground. You got this whole operation running on in the basement, but your wife and your kids are in a totally different area. It probably would have took a little bit longer for these people to find him. As a matter of fact, had that cop, yep. Good morning, Rain. Peace, Queen. I love you. I appreciate you. You have a blessed day as well. So now, just think about it, right? If that cop would have just spent a few $1,000s of the money he was making and said, you know what? Let me just buy a little stash spot over here. Let me just buy a little stash crib because doing it in my house is not smart. That cop would still be getting away with it. We probably wouldn't even caught him. If there was any calls to the address where the facility was running underground in a secret crib, they could have went in there and raided the spot. He wouldn't have been in there. He would have been at home. How you clean that up? You find a way to put that apartment in somebody else's name. You give him a John Doe. If you're dealing with the owner, it don't even matter. You give him a John Doe. You can have somebody go and get the apartment. When you live in certain areas, especially when you live in poor cities, one thing I notice about poor cities, you could go there with cash money. You go into a poor city with cash money and tell that landlord, or you tell one of them tenants or something like that, or somebody in that running that building, yo, listen, I got cash. I want to rent a room out. Or I want to rent this apartment. I got 1,200, 1,500 for a room. They giving that up. They giving that up. I'm speaking on New York. I ain't even talking about nowhere else. New York is expensive, and that's lowballing it. 1,200, 1,500 a month. You go somewhere else, you can easily get that. So I think this cop was kind of crap. I think he was just being greedy. I think he was just being greedy. He probably had it real good, set up real good inside his crib. Like, yo, you know what? Why move around? Why am I gonna move around and go all over the place when I know I could just do all my dirt right here in my crib in my basement? Not really smart. Like I said, anytime y'all are doing something, I don't care if it's legal or illegal. I'm not condoning anything, but anytime y'all do something, please make sure that y'all realize the investment that I'm investing in, this money that I'm getting, that meth lab, hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars. All you have to do is take a little bit of that money. All you got to do is take a little bit of the money that you get in and make sure that you invest in that investment, meaning that you protect that investment. You secure that investment. If he was smart, he would have got a secret spot somewhere and said, let me just leave everything running there. You only got to be there once or twice a day for a small amount of time to make sure everything's operating. And then you leave. Love, life, and loyalty is the motto, man. Stay safe, stay real, and stay true. Y'all rock with me. I rock with you, man. That's just the beginning of the morning news. Top of the top, tip of the iceberg, man. One. I'll be right back.